Thank you, sir. On behalf of the NCP SP, I stand here today to speak on the finance bill, sir. Sir, when the Honorable Finance Minister, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate her since she has actually herself reached a milestone along with the Honorable Prime Minister. He has also achieved being the longest serving Prime Minister in office after Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, who was one of the longest serving Prime Ministers. And she has been fortunate enough to serve this nation on being, it's her 9th finance budget. But I remember the day when she read out the budget to this nation. Actually, the nation and the markets reacted very differently. And now, a few weeks later, the situation is completely different when we are debating the finance bill. I appreciate Dubeji's speech today, and I'm glad he didn't make it political and he was very focused. But I expect a little more from him for the reason that we are in an extraordinarily crisis right now in the nation, and which the Honorable Prime Minister also in his speech said that this is not the time where we really need to sit across board, but the country needs to be united because India is going through an extraordinary, not just India, but the world is going through an extraordinary crisis. So my first pointed question to the Honorable Finance Minister would be, while we are passing this finance bill, is this government prepared for the challenges? Because even Mr. Dubey was constantly drawing a comparison of COVID with today's thing, which was, we were absolutely in the dark when we were in that situation. We didn't know what we were expecting next to come. So if we are in a COVID-like situation today, what plans do Government of India have to protect this economy? I appreciate the point that he made, that we are in a growing economy. I appreciate we are in a growing economy, but with full humility, I would like, and I would be happy to stand corrected, that it's a debt-driven economy as well. The debt of this country is going up. The states are in a lot of debt. So I think rather than just making this into a slinging match, we really need to sit down in this debate and see how we are going to navigate India. Because India today, आज की बात मैं सर आपको बताऊं, महाराष्ट्र में आज जो शायद हर क्षेत्र में हो रहा है, आज LPG का सिलेंडर 50% भर के दे रहे सबको. एक तो अवेलेबल है नहीं, मिल रहा है 20-25 दिनों के बाद. अगर मिल भी रहा है तो आधा भर के ही मिल रहा है. So this is an extraordinarily crisis that we need to attend. इसके बारे में क्या सोचिए? हमारे यहाँ का छोटा मोटा बिजनेसमैन, भले रेस्टोरेंट हो, हमारी जो महिला घर से खाना बनाती है, चपाती है, ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं, लेकिन ये इकोनॉमी का एक बहुत बड़ा भाग है. ये जब भारत और इंडिया की बात ये देश करता है, दिस इज़ नॉट ओनली अबाउट द टॉप 1% ब्रैकेट हु पेज 50-60% ऑफ टैक्स. This is about the last person in the pyramid that India needs to protect. So are we in a position to protect them for the next few weeks to come or months to come? I'm not aware how long. Nobody in this room knows how long it's going to last. So I would like to ask this government that are they prepared for this crisis? And if they are, what are they doing in this budget to do that? Sir, the 2-3 important points is about the stock market that has crashed. What are the real reasons? The rising Middle East tension, global market turmoil, 5 lakh crore was wiped out. Whose money is this? This money belongs to the middle class. No fault of theirs. But they are in a crisis today. The rupee, I remember this was the same opposition who used to mock our government in UPA. That the age, I would like to quote one of their leaders, the age, the amount of the rupee to the dollar is the age of the Prime Minister. This is how they used to make fun of us. Aisa mazak udaya raha tha. What is today's? How much is the rupee to the dollar, sir? Can somebody tell me? It's 94. It's very, very alive. I'm not here just to criticize. I'm here to see how we can help, because if this nation lasts, only then can these debates go on. When is this government going to admit? I was so glad the Honorable Prime Minister today actually for the first time came out and said 2 words about the crisis today. We appreciate it and welcome it, and we are constantly asking for an all-party meeting. I know this is not a part of the finance bill, but eventually all these interactions will help us implement things, sir. I would like to ask, what is, even in this finance bill, what are the impacts on agriculture? A lot has been said about agriculture. Soya bean, this whole thing about tariff, where is really the tariff standing? We have made a commitment to the US of $500 billion to be spent in the US for 5 years with no trade agreement. Now they're saying we don't know what the tariffs are going to be like. How can we have this kind of foreign policy with such vague comments coming out from the Treasury bench? I would like to ask even this, like soybean. My colleagues sitting here from Nasik, from Ahmednagar, sir, they are constantly running to Commerce Ministry. Mr. Goyal has been very, very patient with them, and I'm grateful for that. But हमारा सारा किसानों का माल भरे अहिल्यानगर से हो या नासिक से हो या सोलापुर से हो, यहाँ पूरा मिडिल ईस्ट में जाता है, तब तो 2 पैसे मिलते हैं किसान को. All that commerce has stopped. माल यही पड़ा है, उसका क्या होगा? इस सब बारे में सरकार की सोच क्या है? Sir, whether it's FTAs, what is the government's plan, I would like to ask. Even like raise resources, like revenue receipts of the last time. What was expected? 34.2 lakh crore. Where did we reach? 33.4. I stand corrected if the finance minister has any different data to share. Expected was 16.42 lakh crore. We are at 15.76 lakhs. So it's all mercer. And how has this government survived now in the last 1 year is by disinvestment, sir. In this history, RBI dividends of 3.16 trillion has been first time dividends of RBI has been used by this government. Never so much money has been used. This is the same line which Professor Saugata Roy has said for months in his speech. When does a family sell its silver? When there is a crisis, nobody sells silver that time. So I urge this government to answer these questions. Look at taxation. In this entire taxation, I appreciate that they have given a lot of relief, jiske baare mein Treasury bench is going on and on about. But really, the amount of number, I was on the taxation bill. We spent more time on litigation. So this was a golden opportunity for the government to make major reforms in taxation. Why have we lost that opportunity? Crores and crores of rupees are stuck in litigation. When are we going to clean up this mess? Because rather than fighting this mess, ye faceless kiya, sir. But how much has this faceless taxation really? Sir, one small point, since my time is less, I'll give 2 very small points I'll have to raise because they're very, very important. Nishikant Dubey talked about retrospective. I would like the Treasury bench to clarify. In this gold sovereign bond, retrospective tax has been raised by this government. I stand corrected if I'm wrong. But if you criticize the government of the UPA for retrospective tax, then gold sovereign bond, why are they charging retrospective tax? Then how is it? 2 wrongs don't make a right. फिर हमारे और इनके policy में अंतर क्या रहा, sir? Then you're criticizing us but doing the same thing that we are doing. One small, very important point which this government needs to correct is a disability defense pension. They are taxing this. जिस आदमी ने आप और मैं सुखी रहे इसलिए वे border पे रहते हैं. They are all hurt. Their entire, in the income tax bill, the disability defense pension is being taxed. I request her to withdraw it, sir. One very small point. And one last point, which I really need to speak with the permission of the chair. I'm not talking about unemployment and everything. Sir, is about virtual. This is about my friend Nishikant Dubey talked about our common friend Shiv Kumar Udasi. So I would like to bring him because I didn't know what digital currencies and all were, sir. But now there are 9 such companies which are trading in this kind of currency. Now in this crypto business, this government, I must compliment them. They even punish them. But now through VPN, there are still such businesses which we could have got that tax is illegally through VPN is not being paid, which is our money. I urge this government to intervene. You have acted on 9 such companies, but that's not good enough. This is tax that belongs to this nation. Please don't let them get away with it. So I urge this government, when you make JPCs, please make big ticket reforms. That's what JPCs are. We just can't form JPCs to come discuss and then government don't do any reforms. So this government should take this opportunity, be very serious about what's happening globally, leave our political differences aside till this war is over. Let's put our minds together and save people on the road today because the economy is not as good or in a growing position like Mr. Dubey would like to believe. Thank you, sir.
Nishikant had made only mention about Udasi, just about Udasi.